Hey, beautiful.
Get out.
I'm the class valedictorian.
Oh! What does that mean?
Will, it's so nice to have you home.
Behind the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's feel-good story of family and second chances lurked secrets that would make Will's Philadelphia street troubles look like playground games. While America celebrated the heartwarming comedy about overcoming differences, a real-life nightmare of racism, violence, and systematic abuse was tearing the Banks family apart behind closed doors. 1. The death threat that nearly killed the show. What viewers never knew was that Will Smith's life was threatened by white supremacist groups who were enraged by seeing a black family portrayed as wealthy and successful on television. The threats escalated during the show's second season when an organized hate group began sending detailed plans about assassinating Smith during public appearances. FBI agents discovered that the threats weren't just random racism. They were part of a coordinated campaign to terrorize successful black entertainers and force them off television. The most terrifying moment came when security found a sniper rifle positioned across from the studio with Smith's photo taped to the scope. NBC immediately hired armed bodyguards for the entire cast, while federal agents conducted a manhunt that lasted months. Multiple cast members received threatening letters describing how their race-mixing propaganda would be stopped through violence. 2. Alonso Riveros' suicide attempt. Over typecasting, Alonso Riveros' cheerful Carlton Banks character masked a devastating depression that nearly ended his life when he realized his career had been destroyed by typecasting. Behind his preppy smile, Ribeiro was drowning in despair over being reduced to a dancing stereotype that had made him unemployable for serious roles. The breaking point came during season 4 when Ribeiro locked himself in his dressing room with a bottle of pills, writing suicide notes that blamed the entertainment industry for destroying his artistic dreams. A janitor discovered him unconscious and called paramedics who pumped his stomach while cast members waited in horror outside. NBC executives immediately covered up the incident, claiming Ribeiro had food poisoning, but everyone knew the truth. When he returned to filming weeks later, Ribeiro was heavily medicated and emotionally broken, going through the motions of Carlton's enthusiasm while dying inside. 3. Tatiana Alis' sexual exploitation by network executives. Tatiana Alis' innocent portrayal of Ashley Banks concealed her systematic sexual exploitation by NBC executives who used their power to abuse the young actress throughout the show's run. Industry insiders later revealed that Ali was groomed from the age of 11 by network officials who gradually normalized inappropriate behavior under the guise of career development. The abuse escalated as Ali matured, with executives scheduling private acting lessons that were actually opportunities for sexual assault. When Ali tried to resist or complain, she was told that speaking out would end her career and destroy her family's financial security. The most devastating aspect was how the abuse was disguised as normal industry practices, making Ali believe that submission to powerful men was required for success in Hollywood. Multiple witnesses knew what was happening but remained silent, afraid of challenging the network executives who controlled their own careers. When Ali finally tried to report the abuse years later, she discovered that NBC's legal team had been documenting her personal life to use as blackmail material, ensuring her silence through threats of public humiliation and career destruction. 4. James Avery's violent racism against Will Smith. James Avery's dignified Uncle Phil character concealed his real-life hatred of Will Smith, whom he viewed as an unqualified rapper who was destroying serious black acting opportunities. Behind the cameras, Avery conducted a systematic campaign of psychological abuse designed to drive Smith off the show and reclaim television for real actors. Cast members later revealed that Avery would deliberately sabotage Smith's performances by changing blocking during scenes and feeding him incorrect lines to make him look incompetent. The harassment escalated to physical intimidation, with Avery using his imposing size to corner Smith in private areas where he would deliver racist tirades about street trash, ruining television for educated black performers. The most shocking incident occurred when Avery actually struck Smith during an argument about script changes, leaving visible bruises that makeup artists had to cover. When Smith complained to producers, he was told that Avery's theatrical experience made him irreplaceable, while Smith was lucky to have a job. 5. Janet Huberts' blacklisting and financial destruction. Janet Huberts' departure as the original Aunt Viv wasn't about creative differences. It was the result of a systematic industry conspiracy to destroy her career for demanding equal treatment and respect. When Hubert complained about racist treatment from producers and unequal pay compared to her white counterparts on other shows, NBC executives launched a character assassination campaign designed to make her unemployable. They spread false rumors about her being difficult and unprofessional, while secretly contacting casting directors across Hollywood to warn them against hiring her. The most devastating blow came when NBC executives used their industry connections to have Hubert drop by her talent agency and blacklisted from upcoming projects she had already been offered. When she tried to fight back through legal channels, she discovered that the network's legal team had assembled a file of fabricated complaints from crew members who had been coached to make false statements about her behavior. Hubert lost her home, her savings, and her career, while watching Daphne Maxwell Reid seamlessly replace her without any acknowledgement of the injustice. 6. The cocaine ring, operating through Will Smith's entourage. Will Smith's rise to stardom provided cover for a sophisticated drug distribution network that operated throughout the Fresh Prince set and reached into the highest levels of the entertainment industry. Multiple sources revealed that Smith's Philadelphia associates, who had followed him to Hollywood, established a cocaine dealing operation that used the show's popularity to access celebrity clients across Los Angeles. The operation was so brazen that drugs were stored in Smith's dressing room and distributed during filming breaks, with transactions disguised as casual conversations between friends. Cast members who discovered the drug activity were intimidated into silence through threats and offers of free drugs that created their own addictions. The most shocking aspect was NBC executives' knowledge of the operation, which they allowed to continue because it gave them leverage over Smith and access to the lucrative celebrity drug market. 7. Karen Parsons' eating disorder and mental breakdown. Karen Parsons' portrayal of the superficial Hillary Banks masked her own devastating eating disorder and psychological collapse that nearly ended her life during the show's peak years. The pressure to maintain Hillary's impossibly thin appearance drove Parsons to dangerous extremes of starvation and exercise that consumed her every waking moment. Cast members later revealed that Parsons would survive entire filming days on nothing but diet pills and black coffee, becoming increasingly erratic and paranoid as her body deteriorated. The breaking point came during season 5 when Parsons collapsed during a wardrobe fitting, her weight having dropped to a level that threatened organ failure. NBC executives covered up her hospitalization for severe malnutrition, claiming she had exhaustion, while Parsons spent weeks in a private clinic receiving treatment for anorexia that had nearly killed her. When she returned to filming, her co-stars were shocked by her hollow appearance and vacant stare, barely recognizing the vibrant actress they had known. 8. The network cover-up of on-set sexual assault. The Fresh Prince set became the scene of systematic sexual assault that NBC executives covered up to protect their investment in the show's wholesome image. Multiple female guest stars and crew members later revealed that certain male cast members and executives used their power to force sexual encounters that were disguised as networking opportunities and career advancement meetings. The most devastating case involved a teenage actress who was brutally assaulted by a prominent figure during what she believed was a legitimate audition for a recurring role. When she reported the attack to NBC security, she was told that making accusations against major stars would end her career and result in legal retaliation from the network's powerful attorneys. The cover-up extended to bribing victims with substantial payments and threatening their families with financial ruin if they spoke publicly about their experiences. 9. The reunion. Special conspiracy and mutual blackmail. The long-awaited Fresh Prince reunion attempts were sabotaged by a conspiracy of mutual blackmail involving cast members who held career-destroying secrets about each other's criminal behavior and personal scandals. When HBO proposed a reunion special in the early 2000s, the initial planning meeting devolved into open warfare as years of suppressed hatred and resentment exploded into threats and ultimatums. Will Smith demanded that certain cast members publicly apologize for years of racist abuse, while others threatened to expose his associates' drug-dealing operation unless they received substantial financial settlements. Janet Huberts' potential participation was blocked when NBC executives threatened to release fabricated evidence of criminal behavior that would destroy what remained of her reputation. The most chilling moment came when James Avery's representatives revealed they possessed recordings of private conversations that could destroy multiple careers, creating a standoff where everyone held mutually destructive information. The series finale cover-up that changed television forever. The Fresh Prince finale concealed a network conspiracy that fundamentally altered how television shows could address social issues and family relationships. The original final episodes featured Will confronting the systemic racism he had faced throughout his Hollywood experience, delivering powerful speeches about the entertainment industry's treatment of black performers that NBC executives deemed too controversial for their corporate sponsors. When Will Smith refused to change the ending, NBC threatened to destroy his emerging film career through their entertainment industry connections, forcing him to choose between artistic integrity and future success. The compromise they demanded was devastating. The meaningful social commentary was replaced with harmless feel-good moments that betrayed 6 years of character development and social awareness. Multiple cast members refused to film the sanitized ending, leading to heated confrontations with executives that were secretly recorded by sympathetic crew members. Bonus fact: the reboot that became a hostage situation. Recent attempts to reboot The Fresh Prince have been systematically sabotaged by surviving cast members' mutual threats to expose each other's buried scandals and criminal activities. When streaming services approached Will Smith about reviving the franchise, he discovered that other cast members possessed evidence of his associates' drug-dealing operation and his own knowledge of sexual assault cover-ups. Alonso Riveros demanded millions in silence money and a guarantee that his suicide attempt would never be mentioned, while Tatiana Alis' representatives made it clear that any reboot would result in public revelations about her childhood sexual abuse that would destroy multiple powerful executives. The negotiations became a hostage situation where each participant held career-ending information about the others, creating a mutual destruction scenario that made any reunion impossible. The truth about The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air proves that the real drama happened when the cameras stopped rolling, and the Banks family's dysfunction was nothing compared to the nightmare behind the scenes. Subscribe for more shocking revelations about your favorite family sitcoms, because sometimes the fresh start you need is the truth about what really happened.